Welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. This is for week 12 of the Premier League, and we're finally back from the international break. And there's some news we have to go through. There have been some managerial sackings and appointments over this break, so let's go through them. The first one is from Norwich. Daniel Farke was sacked after the Brentford game, which was surprising because Norwich actually won that game. They were hanging on in the second half, but they got the job done. I think it was one of those cases where it didn't really matter whether Farke won the game or not. He was getting sacked either way because Norwich had been dreadful this season. I don't think he was able to really figure out how to get Norwich to, deliver in the Premier League, because obviously they went down a couple of years ago and it looks like the same thing was going to happen again under him, so maybe this was the right move. But anyway, going on to Newcastle, they appointed Eddie Howe, who is a proven manager in the Premier League. Now, he did take Bournemouth down, but on the flip side, he brought Bournemouth up and kept them up for 5 seasons, which is exceptional. And really, it goes beyond and above expectations. So, that was very good. It'll be interesting to see what Eddie Howe does at Newcastle. Obviously, he has different players. And right now, Newcastle, they're not really scoring a lot of goals. And defensively, disorganized. But let's see what happens. Anyway, first game up is Leicester and Chelsea. This is a big game for both sides. Both sides have to win this game. For Leicester, they've been dreadful defensively this season. They have been shocking. And it's surprising because they've been very solid and well organized in previous seasons, so I'm not sure what's happened. They are really struggling, and, I don't really see them getting anything out of this game. And for Chelsea, obviously they are the league leaders, so obviously they're doing well. But in their last game, they had a 1-1 draw at home to Burnley, which was a shocking result because they dominated that game and they should have won it, but they didn't. They weren't able to put Burnley away, and Burnley managed to snatch a point at the end. So I think you have to give credit to Burnley, but at the same time, Chelsea should have won it. This will be a tough game. Either side could win it. I think it'll be a 3-1 win to Chelsea. Next game up is Aston Villa and Brighton. This will be a 1-1 draw. Next game up is Burnley and Crystal Palace. This will be a tough game for both sides. Either side can win it. I've been particularly impressed with Burnley over the last month or so. I think I did mention at the start of the season that Burnley weren't playing bad, but they just weren't getting results, which I guess doesn't really make sense because if you're playing well, you should be getting results. Because I guess you could easily say that Norwich are playing well, but they're just not, climbing up the league table. But, really, I felt like Burnley deserved to be higher up the league table because of the way they were playing. And obviously, they weren't getting results, so they weren't, able to really justify their good performances. And for Crystal Palace, obviously, they're having a decent season. They also had a change in manager in the summer, and Patrick Vieira looks like he's really doing the business. This will be a tough game. Either side could win it. I think it'll be a 2-0 win to Burnley. Next game up is Newcastle and Brentford. This is a massive game for both sides. Both sides have to win this game. In the relegation battle, this is a must-win game. And it really could go either way. For Newcastle, obviously I mentioned that they've had a change in manager, and usually when you have a change in manager, you have that new manager's bounce. So Newcastle are the favourites, especially excuse me, especially at home. And for Brentford, they have been dreadful recently. They've lost their last 4 league games. I think it's 5, but no, I'm definitely sure it's 4. And they are really struggling. I'm not really sure what's happened. Obviously, ever since that 1-0 home defeat to Chelsea, they just haven't been the same. And they played well in that game, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And to make things even worse, they lost to Norwich, who are bottom of the table, so it doesn't get much worse than that. And that is a shocking, shocking defeat. Completely outplayed in that first half, so it's going to be tough to come back from that. I think this will be a 2-1 win to Newcastle. Next game, excuse me. Next game up is Norwich and Southampton. This is another tough game for both sides. Excuse me. Not feeling too well, but let's just get through this. So I think I forgot to mention that Norwich actually appointed a new manager in Dean Smith, which was surprising again because Dean Smith just got sacked by Aston Villa. And right off the bat, he's got a new job in the Premier League. Absolute madness. Came completely out of nowhere, and I still don't know what to think, but I think it's kind of cool. Anyway, Dean Smith is in charge, so maybe he could do something at Norwich. It looks like now he's got a lot to prove, and he had some words to say to Aston Villa after he was sacked. But he's up against a well-organised Southampton side, which have been very impressive this season, but they're a team that don't score enough goals. That's something they need to work on over the next couple of months, but I think they'll probably address it. This will be a 1-0 win to Southampton. Next game up is Watford and Manchester United. This will be a 2-0 win to United. Next game up is Wolves and West Ham. This is a tough game for both sides. Either side could win it. I think Wolves have been decent this season. They picked up a lot of wins after having that dreadful start. And it looks like they're full of confidence. And for West Ham, they are flying right now. They're pretty much winning. They're winning. Their form has been very, very good. Obviously, they won their last 5 league games. And there's not much more you can say apart from they just need to keep it up. This will be a 2-0 win to West Ham. Next game up is Liverpool and Arsenal. This is a big game for both sides. Either side can win it. It was surprising to see Liverpool lose to West Ham last week, or maybe not, because West Ham have been in exceptional form. And obviously defensively, Liverpool were atrocious in that game. The last couple of weeks, they've been really leaky at the back. Obviously conceding 2 goals to Brighton as well at home. And for Arsenal, they've been very, very good recently. Somehow they managed to climb up to 5th on the league table, which, after their shocking start, has been an unbelievable turnaround. And I think they could probably win this game. This will be a tough game. Either side can win it. I think it'll be a 2-1 win to Liverpool. Next game up is Man City and Everton. This will be a 2-0 win to Man City. And the last game for the week is Tottenham and Leeds United. This is another big game for both sides. Tottenham obviously have a recently new manager in, somehow I can't remember his name. It's Antonio Conte, there we go. Obviously, Conte hasn't had enough time to really change anything at the club, so I'm not really expecting much from Tottenham in the next couple of weeks, or even the next couple of months either. And for Leeds, you know, the way they've started this season was completely different to last season. I think last season they had a lot more points at this stage of the season. And they are really struggling. They're not really winning any games. And from this season compared to last season they were scoring a lot more goals. So something's definitely changed. Um, Leeds have a lot of injuries. I know that Patrick Bamford is out injured right now, so that would be a big source of goals. But even if Patrick Bamford was fit, I don't think he'd be scoring a lot of goals. I think Leeds aren't really creating a lot of chances, so they're really struggling to, um, really even put themselves in positions where they can score goals. But either way, either side can win it. It'll be a tough game. This will be a 1-1 draw. And that's about it.